Are you getting ready for your driver's knowledge test? You're in the right place. In this video, you'll find 100 real questions taken directly from official exams with clear answers and quick explanations. Let's get started and get you one step closer to your driver's license. What should you do before changing lanes? Check mirrors and blind spots. Always check mirrors and blind spots to avoid collisions. What does a flashing yellow traffic light mean? Proceed with caution. It warns you to slow down and proceed carefully. When is it legal to pass another vehicle on the right? When the vehicle is turning left and you have room. Passing on the right is allowed in specific safe situations. What does a solid double yellow line mean? No passing in either direction. It separates opposite directions and prohibits passing. When must headlights be turned on? From sunset to sunrise. Use headlights when visibility is low or at night. What is the legal alcohol limit for drivers over 21 in most states? 0.08% BAC. Driving with 0.08% or more BAC is illegal and dangerous. What should you do if your vehicle starts to skid? Steer in the direction you want the front wheels to go. Steering into the skid helps you regain control. When should you yield the right of way? When entering a roadway from a driveway. Drivers entering a road must yield to traffic. What should you do at a stop sign? Come to a complete stop. Always stop fully at stop signs, even if no cars are visible. What is the meaning of a yellow diamond-shaped sign? Warning! Diamond-shaped yellow signs warn of hazards or changes ahead. What is the speed limit in a school zone unless posted otherwise? 15 to 25 miles per hour. School zones have lower limits for children's safety. What should you do when you hear an emergency vehicle siren? Pull over to the right and stop. Emergency vehicles need a clear path. Stop and yield. When are roads most slippery? Just after it starts to rain. Rain mixes with oil and dirt, making roads slick early on. When can you make a right turn on red? After stopping and if it's safe, unless posted otherwise. In most states, right on red is allowed after a full stop. What should you do if you miss your exit on the freeway? Continue to the next exit. Never stop or reverse, wait for the next safe exit. What does a broken white line mean? You may change lanes if it's safe. Broken lines mean lane changes are permitted with caution. What is the hand signal for a left turn? Left arm straight out. Left arm straight signals a left turn manually. How far ahead should you signal before turning? At least 100 feet. Early signals let other drivers anticipate your actions. What should you do if a traffic light is out of order? Treat it like a four-way stop. All drivers must stop and proceed in turn. What's the main cause of rear-end collisions? Following too closely. Keep a safe distance to avoid sudden braking crashes. When should you use your horn? To alert others of danger. Use your horn only to prevent accidents, not out of anger. What is hydroplaning? When tires ride on a film of water. Hydroplaning reduces traction and control on wet roads. What does a yield sign mean? Slow down and be ready to stop. Yield to traffic and proceed when safe. What is the minimum following distance in ideal conditions? 3 seconds. A 3-second gap allows time to react to hazards. What does a green traffic light mean? Proceed if the intersection is clear. Green means go, but only after making sure it's safe. What should you do when approaching a railroad crossing without signals? Slow down and look both ways. Always check for trains before crossing. What does a round yellow sign with a black X mean? Railroad crossing ahead. This warns drivers of an upcoming railroad track. What does a pentagon-shaped sign indicate? School zone or school crossing. It alerts you to the presence of children crossing. What should you do when driving in fog? Use low beam headlights. High beams reflect back and reduce visibility in fog. What's the first thing affected by alcohol? Judgment. Alcohol impairs decision-making before coordination. What does a red and white triangular sign mean? Yield. Slow down and give way to other traffic. What should you do at a flashing red traffic light? Stop and proceed when safe. Treat it like a stop sign. When should you dim your high beam headlights? When within 500 feet of oncoming traffic. Prevent blinding oncoming drivers. How can you prevent highway hypnosis on long trips? Take regular breaks. Short stops help maintain focus and alertness. What should you do if a tire blows out while driving? Grip the wheel and slow down gradually. Avoid braking hard and steer to safety. What does a speed limit sign indicate? The maximum legal speed. You must not exceed this speed in ideal conditions. What is a blind spot? The area you can't see in mirrors. Check over your shoulder to detect vehicles there. What should you do if another car is tailgating you? Increase your following distance. This gives you more time to react if you must stop. What is the safest way to handle curves? Slow down before entering. Braking while turning can cause skidding. How can you reduce glare at night? Look to the right edge of the road. Avoid looking directly into oncoming headlights. When parking uphill with a curb, which way should your wheels face? Away from the curb. This prevents the car from rolling into traffic. What should you do if you see a pedestrian with a white cane? Stop and yield the right of way. The cane indicates the person is visually impaired. What is the purpose of traffic signals and signs? To regulate, warn, and guide traffic. They keep traffic flowing safely and efficiently. What must you do before turning left at an intersection? Yield to oncoming traffic. Left turns must be done when clear and safe. When is it illegal to cross a solid white line? When changing lanes in dangerous areas. Solid lines mean lane changes are discouraged or prohibited. When should you check your mirrors? Frequently and before changing lanes. Being aware of your surroundings prevents collisions. What should you do if your brakes fail? Pump the brakes and shift to a lower gear. Try to regain braking power and stop gradually. What does a red arrow mean? Stop. No turns allowed in the direction of the arrow. Wait for a green arrow or light. What should you do if your car starts hydroplaning? Ease off the accelerator. Sudden moves can worsen the skid. When must you stop for a school bus? When its red lights are flashing. You must stop until the lights stop and the stop arm is withdrawn. What should you do at a four-way stop? Yield to the driver who arrived first. If to arrive at the same time, yield to the right. How should you merge onto a highway? Match the speed of traffic and merge safely. Use the acceleration lane to merge smoothly. When must you use your turn signal? At least 100 feet before turning. Signaling early gives others time to react. Why should you drive more slowly at night? Visibility is reduced. Lower visibility means less reaction time. Why should you avoid using cruise control on wet roads? You may lose traction. Cruise control can cause hydroplaning. What is true about motorcycles? They have the same rights as other vehicles. Always check for motorcycles before turning or changing lanes. What must you do in a roundabout? Yield to traffic already in the circle. Vehicles inside have the right of way. What's the safest way to back up your car? Look over your shoulder and back slowly. Mirrors aren't enough. Check blind spots too. When must you use your headlights? In tunnels and low visibility conditions, headlights help you see and be seen. Where is passing prohibited? On hills or curves with limited visibility. Don't pass where you can't see at least 500 feet ahead. What should you do if your vehicle stalls on train tracks? Get out and move away from the tracks. Call emergency services from a safe distance. Who must use a child's safety seat? Children under 8 years or under height, weight limits. Proper restraints are required by law for young children. What should you do at a crosswalk when pedestrians are present? Stop and let them cross. Pedestrians always have the right of way at crosswalks. How can you avoid distracted driving? Don't use your phone or eat while driving. Stay focused to keep everyone safe. How far must you park from a fire hydrant? At least 15 feet. This allows emergency access to the hydrant. What must you do for emergency vehicles? Pull over to the right and stop. Yield the road to emergency vehicles with lights, sirens. What does a flashing yellow arrow mean? You may turn left if it's safe. Yield to oncoming traffic before turning. What is the best lane position on a curve? Stay centered in your lane. Avoid drifting to far left or right. Do you need to yield to pedestrians not in crosswalks? Yes, whenever it's safe. Always drive cautiously near pedestrians. When must you use headlights in the daytime? During rain, fog, or snow. Low visibility conditions require lights. Why is drowsy driving dangerous? It slows reaction time and decision making. Fatigue is a major cause of crashes. What is the recommended following distance? At least 3 seconds. This allows space to stop safely. What should you do before entering an intersection? Left, right, and left again. Ensure the road is clear before proceeding. What should you do after a collision? Stop and provide contact and insurance info. It's illegal to leave the scene of an accident. What does a blocked intersection mean? Do not enter unless you can clear it completely. Don't stop in the middle and block cross traffic. What does a green arrow mean? You may proceed in the arrow's direction. It's a protected turn signal. Can you cross double solid yellow lines? Only to make a left turn when safe. Passing is not allowed, but turning is permitted in some cases. When parking on a hill, what else should you do? Use the parking brake. This prevents the car from rolling. What should you do in a construction zone? Obey posted signs and reduce speed. Texto predeterminado. What should you do before starting your car? Adjust seat, mirrors, and fasten seat belt. Get fully set before moving the vehicle. When must you use turn signals? Every time you enter or exit a road. Signaling is legally required and prevents accidents. When is it okay to use the left lane on highways? For passing only. Stay right except to pass. How should you brake to avoid skidding? Brake gently and early. Sudden braking can cause a loss of control. Why should you slow down in the rain? It takes longer to stop. What roads reduce traction and increase stopping distance? What should you do before leaving a parking space? Check mirrors and blind spots. Ensure it's safe to rejoin traffic. How should you treat bicyclists on the road? Like any other vehicle. Give them space and respect their right to the road. Great job reviewing all 100 real driving test questions. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more test prep content. Keep practicing, stay confident, and you'll pass your exam in no time. Good luck, and see you on the road.